Ever since the announcement of Batman Brave and the Bold, we've known that Damian Wayne will be the main Robin of this universe. It's only fair to assume that there is already an established Bat family. Characters like Tim Drake, Cassandra Cain, Stephanie Brown, Jason Todd, and yes, Dick Grayson. Which means these characters are already established in this universe. Which to everybody should be a good thing. I mean, now we don't have to wait like 20 years for Damian Wayne to make an appearance in the DCU. But this does create a little bit of a problem, more specifically to Nightwing. See, in the Superman movie, it was confirmed that Clark wore the cape and trunks for about 3 years, which means that this version of Batman has been around way longer than Superman has. Now, this isn't a big of an issue for Batman and Superman, but more towards Nightwing. One of Grayson's best dynamics is with Superman. When Grayson started off as Robin, he was already looking up to Superman, thinking he was the coolest guy ever. And Superman, he got to see Grayson grow. He saw him leave Batman's shadow and become his own man. And throughout those years, they created this bond where Superman kind of became that cool uncle that would come around every once now and then. Which is still something that they show off like even to this day in the current comics. But now that Grayson has been Nightwing longer than Clark has been Superman, they won't have that dynamic, which is a huge shame. Another issue that I have with this, it means that Nightwing didn't get his name from Superman. The original Nightwing was a Kryptonian vigilante. He didn't really do much, but he was there. But it's a nice bonding moment between Grayson and Superman. It could be a way of saying that Dick doesn't have to stick in Bruce's shadow, that Robin can finally spread his wings and fly out of the nest and become his own person. And that's exactly what he does. He moves to Bloodhaven, he gets a cool suit, he messes up Blockbuster's criminal organization, and Grayson really grew to become a mixture of Batman's raw talent and skill with Superman's heart. And I guess that's just one thing we won't have in the DCU, which is a big shame if you ask me. But besides the dynamic of Nightwing and Superman, there's another issue. And that's the fact that Batman Brave and the Bold will be based on Grant Morrison's run of Batman and Robin. And if you weren't aware of it, in that run, it was Dick Grayson who wore the cape and cowl. And they obviously won't make Dick Grayson Batman in this movie. But why is that so important? See, this comic's core plot is Grayson and Damian's bonding. During this time, Bruce was sent back in time by Darkseid, which meant that Nightwing had to pick up the cape and cowl, but he was left with another responsibility. And that was Damian. So Grayson puts him in the Robin costume, and you can see how Grayson gets through his cold heart. You can see what Grayson gives what every 10-year-old deserves, and that's love. Dick tells Damian how smart he is and that he's proud of him. Their bond grows from colleagues to brothers, and you are fully convinced of that in the later runs. Damian openly admits that Nightwing is his favorite to work with because he describes them as the best. Damian loves Grayson so much that he jumped into his embrace when he figured out that Nightwing was alive. And I've seen people say that this was out of character for Damian, but it's not at all. In Rebirth, it was confirmed that Grayson seriously considered adopting Damian, but he thought he was too young to handle the responsibility of being a dad. And this bond that they have, it all stems down from Grant Morrison's Batman and Robin run. I'm worried they won't give Nightwing and Damian this bond they've grown for nearly 20 years now in the comics, in favor of Bruce growing closer with his son, keeping Nightwing in the sideline as just the happy, optimistic big brother. Which, yes, he is, but it doesn't have the same kind of feeling and depth as in the comics, because it's shown how they grew this bond together. I've already mentioned this in a previous video, you should check it out by the way. But Nightwing is my favorite fictional character of all time. And some of the reasons why is from the things I mentioned earlier. His kind heart that rivals Superman's at times, and being the closest thing that Batman has to an equal in combat. And his ability to turn anyone from an assassin to a hero. And if Nightwing doesn't have these connections with Superman and Damian, I'm afraid they won't do him justice. Nightwing could be the DCU version of Spider-Man and Cyclops. Despite all the beef that the other heroes might have with each other, Nightwing is there to be the glue. He keeps them together. He's the pure embodiment of what a leader is, and most importantly, a hero. Someone who's capable of leading the Teen Titans and the Justice League into battle. Whether it's up against the Injustice League, Darkseid, Brainiac, Nightwing can do it. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. If you guys haven't already, like and subscribe. I'm currently working on a way longer Nightwing video about why Nightwing is the greatest leader in DC. So yeah, make sure to stick around for that. And in terms of Sonic content, I'm currently working on a Knuckles video. So yeah, I won't be abandoning my Sonic content anytime soon. So yeah, see ya.